As always in the middle of the week, I post a video with myths, bugs and other PvZ madness. If you like my content, it would be nice if you would put a like right now. Did you? Well, then let's take a look at what I found this week. I'm starting the video with Musical Plus. After all, I couldn't resist and decided to test the smaller one after the enlarged MC. I'll check the distance from which this zombie will hit with his microphone. Below comes the most ordinary rapper and above his reduced copy. The top one is a little bit quicker, but at the same time he starts hitting second later, and all because his hitting distance is actually much shorter than that of the full-size zombie. You can clearly see that there is almost a whole cell of the field between them. So now we know that the distance from which the MC hits can not only be increased, but also decreased. And along the way, there was a similar question about the reduced metal gug. Will it kill plants with its wave in this form? Again, on top goes the reduced zombie and below the most ordinary, and both of them with equal success finished off sunflowers. I then put high walnuts and both gug took the same amount of hits, meaning even their sound wave power doesn't change. Further, I want to make one small experiment with Sun Detangler. The plant turned out to be very strange and in the most ordinary situations sometimes behaves quite unusually. I have a question: what if a duke gets Siamese twins? Will they jump out of your tentacles at separation, or can they die right in the trap without separation? Well, the answer has been received. The imps are popping out, despite the fact that Sun Detangler's attack period has definitely not been completed yet. That's the kind of sneaky twins these guys are. Now another quick question: what happens if a Lost City digger walks up to Bramble Bash while it's attacking another zombie? It seems like a simple question, but an interesting one. It turns out that a zombie with a shovel tosses both the plant and its fellow zombie at once. In my opinion, it looks a bit funny and I have an idea how to develop this theme, but it's for next time. And now I'll show you with diggers something else. While experimenting with this zombie, I came across one interesting thing. In order to understand it, I need to stop talking now and you need to listen well and memorize what sounds the zombie makes when it digs up a plant and throws it behind its back. You got it? Now let's deprive the Z guy of his tool. The shovel in his hands is no longer in his hands. We stick a plant under his nose and again listen to the sounds of his attack. Did you hear that? Now he's gonna say it again. I'm gonna shut up. That is, there is no shovel in his hands, but someone for some reason has not removed the sound of digging, and although the attacks of the digger continue to be accompanied by these sounds with a shovel. Now I can safely say that the game has not only visual madness, but even sound madness. By the way, then I found something else when I thought, what if we hypnotize the zombie that is in Bramble Bash spikes? Turns out it's easily hypnotized and goes in the opposite direction. But if we do the same thing at the end of the round and the zombie is the last one, then in that case we get a perpetually walking Bramble Bash, well, almost like the perpetually spinning hit seeker I showed before. Maybe I'll someday make a video with broken animation of all plants in the completed round, but it's not for sure. Next is a rather simple bug, which is hard to even call a bug. The burnt remains of the Z-Cop chair rider continue to move on the lawn for a couple of seconds and even scare the shadow pea shooter, but it turns out it's just the beginning. The same ash can be thrown overboard on a pirate ship. To do this we need to use Bob's ult, and here are the ash of the zombie went to sea, almost like Donnie from my favorite movie The Big Lebowski. He also wanted his ash scattered over the ocean. By the way, the same thing happens when using buoyant setter. Maybe you can even throw the ash overboard with something else, but I haven't checked all the plans. I'll just say that levitate and cauliflower won't work. You can look for other options. We're moving on. Everyone knows that Zombie Nutcracker cannot be thrown back by almost any plant. Mangle doesn't react to it, Hurricane doesn't blow it away, and Buoyant Setter doesn't throw it back either. There's only one antidote to this dead man, and that's the Spring Bean. This plant not only throws off the Nutcracker itself, but somehow miraculously allows all other plants to start interacting with this type of zombie. It's now being blown away, tossed aside and repelled by all of the previously mentioned plants. As soon as we dig up Bob, the Nutcracker stops responding to the pushes again. So, a strange question came to me: what if we teleport him with time? Maybe this crazy plant will walk on the Nutcracker like Bob? Honestly, knowing how time breaks character mechanics, I wouldn't be surprised by that outcome at all. However, no, this time even time failed to affect the zombie. Nutcracker is still too resistant. A couple weeks ago I enlightened a zombie in a levitator tossing moment, then I got bodies flying around on an obscure path with no reaction from the Medusa. Now it's the same thing, only twice as cool. From the zombie on the chair it turned out to be possible to make two bodies at once, one of which will also be as if on the upper track, but in fact he is not there. To confirm my words, again Medusas, one of which creates block of stone, but the upper one didn't react to these bodies, as he was not really there. In short, it's the same as in that Madness with Levitator, only this time in double size. And finally, I wanted to torture some birds. I decided to see if Medusa would turn parrots flying at her into stone. Tricked the bird and it flew backwards and flew past Medusa. Honestly, I'm a bit disappointed. I thought there would be something more fun, but no bugs were found. I decided to test the same thing not on parrots, but on pigeons. I also added crocus, and here the bug happened, and the pigeon stayed in place, but Medusa ignored even such an easy target. I tried to move it further away and then I used time. Funny thing is, time teleports the frozen pigeon too. There was no way Medusa wanted to walk. I was able to make something resembling a double-headed eagle emblem at one point, only I got a double-headed dove. And those poor pigeons are still exposed to the battle, so I got a mini madness. I guess the poor thing wishes it would just get killed and not be tortured. Okay, I'll leave him alone, and I'll say goodbye to you, because that's all for today. Put likes, subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next video. Bye!